Love It with Blues in the Night podcast here. We're here at the Artistry Stage for a very, very special celebration of sorts. Max Hightower has a new record. It's his first solo record entitled Nothin But The Truth. It's out now, and we're here to talk about it. Max, how are you guys doing? You doing all right?
All good. All good.
Excellent.
A little warm.
It is very warm. Max, you've been in the blues industry for 20 plus years. What made you decide to put out your first solo record now?
Well, that was a big plus, actually. It's a little more, because it goes way back, man. But no, man, I've just been writing songs with so many different people for, I don't know, for even more than 20. I've been writing with Mac, for 20 years, just writing songs and writing songs with other people before that.
Mac Arnold.
Yeah, with Mac Arnold. And then, I've always been, but I've been writing for myself, especially after the whole COVID thing. And I really started, writing then too. But I had all these songs and they were kind of following me around like a little lost puppy, biting at your ankle. And, man, I just kind of, when I just started, putting it on paper, they get in your head and it starts happening. Yeah. And then the more they start happening, eventually you're like, man, it's got to come out. And it just kind of got to that point,
Absolutely.
And so,
Nothin But The Truth, you guys have put together for this record a all-star lineup of musicians. Tell me about you guys, how the band came together.
Well, the way it came together was, which knew these guys before that, but had a show booked that I forgot about, and so I didn't have no music. As a matter of fact, somebody called me up. He said, "I'll see you tonight," because they were going to come out to the show, and I was like, "You gonna see me tonight? Where? What do you?" And they're like, "Oh, we'll see you at Rainer's," and I was like, "Oh, dang." I totally forgot about that. And so I'm calling around, calling people, and I was playing I had this idea for a lot of these songs was a jazz lineup with a stand-up bass and a jazz drummer. And so and they wasn't available, and so these guys were. I called them up, and I kind of over the phone and stuff. We talked about the song, some of the original stuff, and. Because I'd been working on, like I said, with the other band, and when we showed up at the gig that night, they didn't know the songs, but I just started playing them, and it went from jazz to this soul funky, just out of the box, man. There was no more box. The box disappeared, man, when these guys come along, and people went from sipping wine to getting up and dancing and moving around. I mean, because Fleetwood was pumping the bass and adding all this stuff. It happened. And I knew then, I was like, man, we got it. This is the direction we're going in.
And what was it like for you guys working with Max in the studio?
Man, it was different. Like we went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And, like we got with some of the guys in there, and it was organic. Like everything that happened in the studio, it was there, so it happened. Turned out great too, man.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I feel like working with Max was just I think it all came together. Just the drummer, and then by him playing guitar, understanding, because with Max you have to understand him. He's one of them guys you got to understand him, and he's also which off bass is a great bass player himself too. He knows bass as well. And I just had to study him and just figure out where his movements is. It all worked out in the studio and made it pop.
Man, Fleetwood was like a voice shadow.
Yeah.
I'm serious. He's like following your voice, man. Every note, it's just crazy. Yeah. Especially when you listen back to the album. Because now I listen to stuff. I'm like, I'm always listening. I hear something new about the bass. Mm-hmm. And he's picking up off the vocals or something. And if you listen to the horns, even the horn players were picking up Fleetwood's licks.
For sure. Man.
He was playing horn licks on the bass.
That's one of the cool things about this record is that every time you listen, you hear something new that you didn't hear before, and that's always the case when it comes to records that are that sonically good. You keep coming back and you keep hearing more and more. And I wonder, this is a very funk-driven record. Was that a natural thing that happened, or was that something that you guys like deliberately sat down and said, we're going to make like a blues funk thing?
First off, there's the funk. These were just kind of blues songs, the way I had originally written them, and with some cool arrangements. I was trying to step outside the blues a little bit, but when they come along, I was like, man, we got together at the house, and I started throwing that. We actually started working on it, and we had this one song, Thick Jello, and we were trying to get it. And you had the 5-string, I think, and he went dum 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 dum, and I was like, that's it. And everything just kept coming together. And the cool thing is, you only brought a snare and a hi-hat and a kick. And so we said, man, this is it. It opened up. It left space for other things, horns, pianos, whatever. And I didn't realize it at the time, but we figured that out. So when we're going to record it like that, we figured that out when we got to New Orleans.
Yep.
And that leads me to my next question, actually, which is, you go to New Orleans to record this album. How did this city has such a rich and diverse history in music. How did the city influence the sound of this record, if at all?
Well, one of the songs, I'm going to say it. One of the songs that I really heavily influenced that's in the album is a song called I Ain't Lying.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, because Max, I think the original plan, Max, was for it to be a different feel. But it was just something about when I went to Louisiana, it was just like the feel there was just like, and I got chills right now just thinking about it. It gave me a different vibe, and I was like, this needs to be like as much as New Orleans as we can get it to.
Yeah, because I had it kind of rock and roll.
You had it rock and roll.
But originally I had it the way it was, a little more jazzy, and that's what he liked. Yeah. But then I changed it up because I don't know, I just do that all the time. I'm always changing shit up, and so I changed it up, and then we got there and we're playing it, and I remember Fleetwood. He about halfway, you might have even stopped in the middle of the song. You just going. Yeah. And I was like, what's up, Fleet? He said, man. He said, I'm just got to go back to the old way. And so, is that not what you told me?
I think just for I felt the vibes like when I went down, I just got covered in the vibes, and I was like, man, we got to do this song with this kind of feel. And I heard so much stuff just for benefiting for what the song was, and it's just like, it was amazing, man.
What surprised me is you do all that funk, and then he was more pulled to the jazz stuff. But that's when remember James walked in.
James walked in. Yeah, it was a whole different vibe in the room, and just the beginning part. I don't know if what I say. In the beginning part, it was just like, I wanted to do a line that would kind of like make a transition, if that makes sense, make a transition in the song, and it just kind of worked out. I was like, James, can you play this line? He was like, oh, okay, I can play it. And that's just how it worked out. It was freestyle pretty much.
Man, it did. And just real quick to kind of, tell them about James.
Oh my gosh.
When he came, because we didn't know what was going to happen, and he walked in.
James is like this, because he's playing like baritone and
everything. He's got them all.
What is it? Trombone?
No, he didn't play trombone. He had alto.
Okay, he playing alto. But he comes in and he comes in creating lines. Like he's coming fitting right in.
Oh, he was walking around like making. He just put his head down and it was like, what is he doing? And then he was like, I got an idea for the beginning. You remember?
Yeah, he actually came up with the.
Yeah. And also all this stuff was just unfolding. It wasn't the plan was kind of no plan.
Yeah, for sure.
We brought we kind of brought the meat and they brought the potatoes.
Yeah.
They just threw them in there.
Literally, that's what it was. That's literally what it was.
Just goes to show the caliber of musicians all you guys are. The fact that you can just go in and just throw stuff on the wall and see if it sticks, and it sticks. Yeah, and this record has such a consistency to it it also, it has that danceable factor to it because it's got the funk element and the jazz, the swing element too, and it makes for a really great party album in a way where you can just put it on in the background and let people do their thing.
There's no ballads on this thing.
Yeah,
no sad songs. And that was on purpose.
Yeah,
and because I love once I started with the first song, just kind of it was a fun, exaggerated song, and then it just kind of, I just want to keep that groove going,
Yeah. Now, here's a question for all three of you. What aspect of this record are you most proud of? You want to start with Fleetwood, or you want to start with Brandon?
I'm proud of just the product in general. Like, we all come from playing different genres of music, all of us. So when we came together, it was just everything. It was perfect. Everything was perfect. The people were perfect. Where we recorded it was perfect. So everything was good. It was nice and chill. Big John was kicking it with us. He's the engineer and producing. So it was all good, man. It just worked out. Everything worked out. Fleet?
Yeah, I think it was, for me, it was the fact that, I actually, before this album, I was thinking, I was like, what are some of my most favorite albums? And of course, it was Muddy Mississippi Waters Live. It was, Hard Again, and that Johnny Winters, Nothin But The Blues album, and John Lee Hooker, Hooker and Heat. He recorded with. So I'm thinking, I'm like, what is it about these albums I love so much? And it was the fact they were recorded live. So I actually got in touch with Skip Taylor, which produced the John Lee Hooker with Canned Heat. I actually talked to him on the phone. I don't even remember. I think I just looked his number up and he just answered the damn phone. I was like, he said, "Is this the Skip Taylor?" And he's like, yeah. And we were talking, and he was super nice, man. And I asked him about it. I said, so, kind of give me a rundown. And he just said, man, he produces all the Canned Heat albums. And he said, man, you just got to be really well rehearsed. And I was like, before you go in there, just have it down. And so I started calling you guys, man, and we was getting together, 2, sometimes 3 times a week, to the point to where we knew the song so well, it was just, and so that was the thing. We were able to go down there and just cut pretty much most of it live, So what you hear, and the cool thing with Big John, he would, they'll tell you, he was old school all the way. Yeah. And that's another thing, talking about the difference in his style of playing. He plays that stuff from the 30s and 40s and 50s. So he brought something, if you listen to all these different elements. But John was like, I would be like, man, I said, man, I think I messed up on the vocals there. He said, be all right, He didn't fix anything. Nothing's fixed on this thing. It's just it is what it is.
I would say, the biggest thing about this album that I really enjoy is to be able to, it's like the bandwidth started stretching, because you'll see us do, and I last say I ain't gonna just go through all the songs, but I'm gonna just say overall, you got to see different sides of Max. You got to see different things. You got to see him do or approach it in different keys, different ways, utilizing different things in the song. So it wasn't like I say, funk was great, the grooves was great, but it's so much. There's a lot of harps in it. It's a lot of nice guitar lines in it. It's just like I say, the album within itself, it has so much vastness in it, because like I say, just coming from my background a little bit. I do a lot of, I came from a lot of quartet gospel, and quartet gospel was, 1, 4, 5, simple, pretty much like blues.
Yeah.
And, it just taught me to learn how to play a lot more simple. And when it came to Max, it was almost like peanut butter and jelly. It's like came together with the album, and it's all worked out. And then you got to think, we got the most nice pocket, the greatest pocket drummer with us. And then, of course, he got other stuff that he can play. So it's like, it all worked out just because it was so much variety. That makes sense. It was a lot of variety, for my personal opinion.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have a lot to be proud of with this album. Max, very quickly, is there any more solo material that you plan on cooking up here in the next few years or so?
Oh yeah, man, I got a whole nother album's worth of stuff already. It's a different angle, but I'm definitely using these guys.
Excellent.
So
it's a tight record, and it's kind of a masterpiece, folks. I'm not gonna lie. Nothin But The Truth is available now physically and digitally, wherever you can get your records. Max Hightower, Brandon Phelps, Fleetwood, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much, and congratulations on a fantastic record.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah, do this.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Keys it up, man. Our brothers.
It's on.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing but, yes, sir.